What's up, guys? Kurt Hughes here with Ignite Baseball. Today we're looking at Ted Williams. I had to pay a little tribute to the guy that got me started on this hitting journey when I read his book, The Science of Hitting, when I was about 15. If you haven't read it, definitely check it out. It's certainly worth the read, way ahead of its time as far as hitting is concerned. And the thing that he talks about a lot in the book, which, everyone today talks about a lot, is the fact that he was trying to swing up because he knew the ball was coming down. So that was the way for him to be in the way of the ball the longest. Although that's probably the most famous thing that he talked about in the book, I'm going to talk about something that really wasn't in the book very much, and it's something that we at Ignite Baseball teach a lot, and it's something that he does really, really well. So it's called folding and unfolding your hips. So if you take a look at the angle from his knee to his hip and then the angle from his hip to his shoulder, you'll see it's kind of bent, okay? And you'll see that his butt is kind of is moving behind his heels, very similar to how it would, like if you were doing a squat. Now he's really, really taken that back hip and really kind of like pushed or not, maybe not pushed is not the right word, but he's really folded it back to really create that movement of his butt kind of behind his heels, very similar to like a squat, just as we were saying. And what you're going to see is that when he does his swing, he's going to take that angle that his hips have created with his shoulder and his knee there, and he's going to try and straighten it out as fast as he can. So instead of having a bend here, it's going to look like this, straight from his knee to his shoulder. Now this isn't going to be the perfect angle to see it. You're going to see it much better in the next view that we look at. But I want you to notice in this video here where the straightness, or where this bend becomes straight right here, okay? That bend has to be transferred somewhere in his body, and the spot that it gets transferred is to his back knee. So as he does his swing here, you'll see his back knee becomes far more bent here, and he becomes much more straight from his knee all the way to his shoulder. And if that bend didn't get transferred, then what would happen is his head would pop up. But because he does transfer that bend to his knee, he's able to do a good job of keeping his head still and fully finish his turn. So let's take a look at the next view of him swinging here. This is going to be more of a side view, so you're going to not be able to see the first bend quite as good as you could in the last one, but I want you to make note that he is bending over, and when you're bending over like that, and you've already started to create those angles that we were just talking about. But right here, when he does his swing, you're going to see how that he's leaning over, and then all of a sudden, wham, he straightens it out as fast as he can, and you'll see right here this straight line from his knee all the way to his shoulder. Hugely important for generating power on the swing. When you make that move, it really thrusts your back hip forward, using the ground for leverage, and it allows you to turn really, really fast and hit the ball really, really far. So this is another kind of cool angle of it. Probably the last one I'm going to show you. I'm going to be somewhat brief today. But take a look right here. You'll see the bend right here. Shoulders, knee, okay? Boom. And then he becomes really, really straight from his shoulder all the way to his knee. Notice the time in which you see his belt buckle and his chest as well. So take a look. If you were the pitcher and you're viewing him from like right here, the first thing that you would see is his belt buckle, and his chest is still hidden. So the greater that we can, or the further that we can get our belly button ahead of our chest, or our belt buckle ahead of our chest, the faster we can swing. And he does a really good job of separating and getting those hips out in front, which is why he was able to hit the ball with so much success and so far. It'd be amazing to see what this guy would have done had he not been in the military for all those years. Obviously, thank him for his service for sure, but it would have been incredible. He's kind of like the Muhammad Ali of baseball, just because in a lot of his prime years were kind of taken away from him. Not taken away from him, that's not the right word, but just, it would be interesting to see what his career statistics would look like if he, um, if he didn't do that, or, he didn't have to do that. But tremendous hitter, um, you know, and definitely the guy that got me started on this journey. So, it's been awesome breaking him down.